He is one of the most powerful, most enigmatic, and, for many, one of the most feared men on the planet. Vladimir Putin. We see the iron grip on his nation, the calculated, often chilling, moves on the world stage. But what if I told you that, behind the formidable Kremlin walls, the wealth accumulated by his family isn't just vast, it's almost beyond human comprehension, potentially rivaling the entire economies of some of the world's richest nations. Whispers in the financial shadows suggest their fortune could stretch into the trillions. Yes, you heard that correctly, trillions today. We're attempting to pull back the curtain just a fraction on the almost mythical, trillionaire life of Putin's family, a life seemingly built on absolute power, impenetrable secrecy, and unimaginable, almost invisible riches. Are you ready to glimpse the truth, or at least the shadows it casts? Let's begin. Now, when you ask, how rich is Putin? The answer is a masterclass in obfuscation. Officially, his salary is modest. But many seasoned analysts estimate his personal net worth somewhere between a staggering $300 billion and $500 billion. Yet, even that might not capture the true picture. Some argue that, in reality, Putin's personal wealth mirrors the colossal wealth of Russia itself. The total accumulated wealth of all Russian adults is, say, $3.8 trillion. Then, in a system where one man holds ultimate sway, that figure could, in a sense, reflect his family's accessible fortune. If Russia's economy is valued at $1.86 trillion, one could argue that's the scale of the resources at his command. Why? Because in a system that many describe as a dictatorship, the state's vast resources often become indistinguishable from the leader's personal dominion. To understand the man, you have to look at his roots. Putin's family history is a fascinating journey from the soil of Russia to the very heart of its power. They trace their lineage back to 17th century peasants in Russia's Tver district, with one ancestor, Yakov Nikonin, even serving a nobleman, connected to Tsar Michael Romanov. For generations, however, the family endured hardship and poverty, surviving brutal wars and seismic regime changes. Then came a pivotal connection. Putin's grandfather, Spiridon, worked as a personal cook for both Lenin and Stalin, bringing the family into the orbit, however humble, of supreme Soviet power. Putin's own father, Vladimir Putin Sr., fought heroically and was seriously injured in World War II, yet the family remained in modest circumstances. It was from this very same backdrop of ordinary life, of making ends meet, that young Vladimir Putin himself grew up. And it was from that environment that he embarked on a defining 17-year career in the KGB, the formidable, now defunct Soviet intelligence agency. His dedication and skills honed there didn't just shape him, they paved the way for his meteoric political ascent, his presidency, and ultimately, what many now see as his absolute grip on power. By 1998, Vladimir Putin had become president of Russia, and by 2012, his control over the nation was virtually complete. But amidst this rise, he was also a family man. In 1983, he married Lyudmila Skrebneva, and together they had two daughters, Maria, born in 1985, and Katerina, born a year later in Germany while Putin was stationed there with the KGB. The girls, affectionately nicknamed Masha and Katya, were named after their grandmothers. However, as Putin's power swelled, their lives became increasingly insular. When he became president, he took them out of their regular school for security reasons, opting for private tutors at home. While he was said to be a loving father, the immense pressures and demands of his growing authority meant he inevitably spent less time with his daughters. They became more isolated, living lives shrouded from the public eye. Despite the physical distance that power often creates, both Maria and Katerina reportedly held their father in high regard, expressing admiration for him. Yet, It was clear they no longer had the same easy access to him as they did in their earlier, simpler years. As the girls grew older and their father's political career continued its relentless upward trajectory, whispers and rumors about his closely guarded personal life began to circulate with increasing intensity. The first visible crack in the carefully curated image of Putin's family life came with his marriage to Lyudmila. Decades together, their union appeared increasingly strained. Lyudmila was reportedly not a happy woman in her role as First Lady, and accounts suggest that Putin himself no longer held her in the same affectionate regard as he once had. She became progressively absent from his public appearances, fueling widespread speculation. Then, in 2013, the couple publicly announced their divorce. A stunning and rare admission for a leader like Putin, marking a significant turning point in the public perception of his personal life. Almost simultaneously, rumors of Putin's alleged affairs began to surface, painting a picture of a private life far more complex than officially acknowledged. One name became inextricably, if unofficially, linked to Putin romantically: Alina Kabeva, the celebrated Olympic rhythmic gymnast. Persistent speculation suggested a close, long-term relationship, with some even claiming they share 2 children together. While these claims have never been officially confirmed, and likely never will be, they added yet another layer of intrigue and mystery to the narrative surrounding Putin's intensely private world. Despite the challenges, the isolation, and the controversies swirling around their father, Maria and Katerina pursued their own paths, albeit under a veil of secrecy. Maria reportedly studied biology before attending medical school, while Katerina pursued Asian studies in college. Both, it said, attended university under false identities. A stark emphasis on their need for privacy and security in a world where their father's name was both a shield and a target. But of course, the daughters would eventually marry. And it was at this juncture that maintaining their anonymity and the true extent of their family's wealth became increasingly difficult. While much remained shrouded in rumor, one of the most prominent whispers involved Maria's alleged marriage to a Dutch businessman, Jorrit Vossen. Details are scarce, but in a 2017 interview with filmmaker Oliver Stone, Putin himself confirmed he was a grandfather, a subtle hint perhaps at Maria and Jorrit's child, Katerina. On the other hand, found herself more directly in the spotlight due to her own alleged connections and a distinctly lavish lifestyle. In 2013, she reportedly married Russian billionaire Kirill Shamalov, the son of one of Putin's close friends. The wedding was said to be a grand, almost fairy tale affair at the Agora Resort in Leningrad, a highly secure event complete with a laser show, an ice skating display, and even a mock Russian village. However, their marriage was short-lived, and the couple divorced in 2018. It was during these divorce proceedings that a glimpse of the wealth involved became public, with their combined assets reportedly valued at around $2 billion. Flight records later suggested a secret relationship between Katerina and German ballet star Igor Zelensky, no relation to the Ukrainian president, resulting in a daughter born sometime between 2017 and 2019. Katerina reportedly made over 50 trips to Munich during this period, often, it's claimed, accompanied by Putin's presidential security detail. And then there's Svetlana Kravanagic, a former cleaning lady whose name became linked to Putin. It's reported she had a close relationship with him in the late 1990s. And they may have had a daughter together, Elisaveta Vladimirovna Rozova, born in 2003, though never officially confirmed. Elisaveta's striking resemblance to Putin has fueled intense speculation. These alleged hidden families and the immense wealth surrounding them led to international action. In 2022, the United States, followed by the UK, EU, and Canada, placed sanctions on Putin's officially recognized daughters, Maria and Katerina, and their now ex-husbands, accusing them of profiting from the Russian state and being used by Putin to conceal his own vast assets from international scrutiny. So, just how much is Putin really worth? Officially, he declares a modest income of around $140,000 a year. Yet, even back in 2007, documents suggested his personal wealth was closer to $280,000. And then there are the watches. He's been photographed wearing timepieces worth $700,000, nearly 6 times his declared annual salary. One Patek Philippe watch alone was valued at $60,000. Another, a Lange & Schnee datograph, at a cool $500,000. Experts like Bill Browder and even figures like Elon Musk have speculated his true net worth could be as high as $200 billion, or even more, making him potentially the richest man in the world. But individual luxuries pale in comparison to the properties. He is said to own a colossal mansion around 190,000 square feet, dramatically overlooking the Black Sea. Its construction cost, reportedly $140 million back in 2010. This isn't just a house. It's a fortress, a toit. In 2012, Sergei Klesnikov, a former business partner of Putin's associates, blew the whistle, revealing he was instructed to help build this opulent estate, often dubbed Putin's palace. Built on government land, it's true. Cost is believed to be closer to $1 billion, featuring 3 helipads, a private access road, and security provided by Kremlin guards.